Parenting through the teen years can seem daunting, but parenting expert Michelle McVittie is here to help. We're talking about teenagers. I'm lucky I don't have them yet. I do have a preteen that we're going to talk about, but let's talk about them. Let's talk about parenting teens. You've said you had a lot of calls lately.
I have had a lot of calls. I think parents feel stuck, right? Because the teenager wants independence, yet sometimes they don't follow through or they make poor choices. So parents hold on a little tighter, and then it causes more conflict. When they're younger, you have a little more control, even who they're hanging out with.
Yeah.
And then when they start making poor choices, parents think, what's going on? Do I step in? Did I do something wrong? I need to tell them, but they jump in and rescue, or they jump in and give advice, even though they may need it, but they resist it, and then it turns into conflict.
So how do you make it their idea?
Well, yes.
Isn't that what we're thinking? We're like, okay, if I can't get in there, how do I make your choice your idea? But
exactly. Well, and I think what happens is when we are listening, we need to listen to understand instead of respond, because they may see things that are triggering to us, like you never listen to me, or you give my sister everything, or you don't get it, you're old. And it's like,
wow,
okay, are
like
they being,
it was like yesterday's conversation for me right there.
All right.
Okay, I got it.
Right.
Okay.
And it can feel hard because you're feeling disrespected, you're feeling this is rude. And I'm not saying to allow them to be rude to you, but is this the time to stop being rude to me? Don't talk to me like that. Don't use the word hate. I don't like this. And then it just gets into back and forth.
It, right?
Yes. So there's a time and place, but you can say, or even just say, I can see that you're upset. I'd really like to help you, but I can't when you're screaming at me.
Right.
And set that boundary with kindness. But then later on, we want to talk to them to say, I'm noticing you're spending more time at home. Or I've noticed that you used to do this and you're not doing it anymore. We don't see you around so much. We're going to have dinner on Thursday. We'd love for you to be there instead of going up to your room. But we get into this like, I insist, you need to come downstairs, do this, need, have to. And it's those, especially if you've got an oppositional kid, they're like, no, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it feels like you're taking away their independence at that point.
Yes. Yeah. So make it more about them instead of me. It's I'm concerned about you. I'm noticing this is happening. Help me understand. Would you like some help with this? And then what does that look like instead of imposing?
And just helping.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you say to them, is there something that you need help with? Would it be helpful to come with suggestions?
Absolutely. You want to plan ahead for conversations like this, even planning who's going to be part of the conversation. And when we say, like if I said to you, hey, Emily, do you need some help with your style? And you're like, oh, no, a what? I didn't think that was a problem.
Yes.
But instead, maybe you were complaining about like, oh, I can never find the right jeans, or I'm using a very silly example, but, or you were complaining about your kids, and I'm like, I'm not just going to jump in and say, hey, I can help you. It's like, oh, what are you struggling with? Tell me more. Help me understand. And can I help? Or is this something that you just need some space and I need to hold space for your emotion, and they just need to vent, but they have it figured out, right?
Now, would you suggest maybe taking it kind of out of the environment in which they're in, like taking them out for ice cream or maybe for coffee or for something like that, so you're just kind of bonding and you're doing something cool together and then you're just chatting?
Yes, I love that idea. And side by side is usually easier to have a conversation than face to face. For them in the back seat, doing something, and then building that rapport, especially if you feel like the attachment is kind of drifted a little bit because they're off, they don't want to talk to you, and then you feel defeated. Build that rapport. Yeah, I'm going to grab a coffee. Do you want to come with me?
Yeah, because sometimes eye contact is hard for kids.
It is,
if they're talking about something hard.
And they don't want to feel like they're in an interview.
Yeah.
Because that is not fun.
Nor do they want to feel like they're being grilled. Like I remember being like, oh, here we go again. Kind of thing. That's my worst. Like when my kids roll their eyes at me, like that is my trigger right there.
Okay, there's your trigger. So and it's also their cue that they're not feeling this. So you can label that. Are you feeling, I'm noticing you're feeling frustrated. Do you need to take a pause on this? Did I say something that wasn't fair? And if they say this isn't fair,
we gotta go.
You're right.
Thanks, Megan. I really, really appreciate it, Michelle.
Yeah.
Great advice. Parenting teens, it's hard. Stick with it. You got to do it.